Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. We're going to be looking into the energies of the divine love connections here. So I'm reading for twin flames, divine feminine, divine masculine, soulmates, and I'm reading for you as an individual, divine feminine, divine masculine. However, that's energy that's contained inside of you. You aren't a divine feminine or divine masculine. You may contain majority feminine energy, majority masculine energy, but that does not define you. So I want to make that clear. I want to welcome everyone in. Thank you to everyone who's over on Patreon supporting me, supporting my work. Thank you to anyone who's booked private readings. I do have some spots that I'm opening up for next month, July. So if you've reached out to me or if you'd like to reach out to me to book a reading in July, you may do so now. And I'll start booking those while I finish up the June readings. I can talk. And what else? We've moved through a lot of astrological events. We've moved through full moons, eclipses. In fact, the full moon was yesterday. I did a written reading on that if you want to check that out. It's the last reading I posted. And, oh, that's right. I'm doing mini readings this weekend. So if you'd like it's actually not a mini reading, it's a written reading, but it's a detailed story reading. And it will be, wow, excuse me. Throat chakra activations, anyone? All morning for me. So it is a written reading that I will prepare especially for you. I will pull 6 to 8 cards, and there will be a written portion, a couple paragraphs long, where we discuss the energies that are coming up to you with the full moon, what you're releasing, what you're bringing in, and how this may be affecting you both positively and maybe in a more challenging aspect. So I really, really enjoy doing the written readings, guys. So if you'd like those, they're $44 USD. And my PayPal link is actually in the description box below. It's under the donation portion, so you can find that there. And I think I've been putting the wrong link in there. Oh gosh. So if I've done that, please, please do. Oh gosh, I just realized that. So I deeply apologize. But that PayPal link wouldn't have worked, so you guys would have emailed me anyway. So anyway, long story short, if you'd like a story reading for the full moon, which I will be completing over this weekend, you'll receive it by Sunday, then you can make your payment using the PayPal link I will place in this video below. And in the description box of your payment, please put your email address so I know who to send the reading to. Okay, great. So now that we've had that all taken care of, let's go to the card portion of the reading. I know Mercury's direct, but I think I'm still fumbling over my words. So bear with me. Let's start with the Psychic Tarot. We are going to look into the energies of the connection here, and I want to look into some of the shadows, which is why I pulled the Magic of You deck as well, the shadow aspect that may be coming up for twins here. You know, we've stepped into a portal here with the eclipse season in the full moon and the retrogrades that very much is highlighting our destiny. As you guys know, I do North Node readings individually, personally. I don't always advertise those, but those are always available. And right now, the collective North Node is in Gemini and the collective South Node is in Sagittarius. So we just had the eclipses in Gemini and Sagittarius. So they affected our destiny, they affected our path, they affected our mission, they affected where we've been as well as where we're going. So it's like everything is coming full circle. I've talked recently about the masculines as I was trying to step away from the masculine readings. However, what's coming up is that not only do I have a lot of and carry a lot of masculine energy inside of me, but the masculines were coming to me in dreams. When I try to step away from that energy, it literally haunts me. It follows me. And so not only in dream state, but they are coming to me in the 3D. I'm meeting divine masculines, and I am starting to really understand the importance of speaking to them, speaking for them, and allowing their story to be heard. So you will see me talking about the divine masculines, but not in the sense of what are they doing in the 3D, because I want your focus to be on your journey and on yourself, and that's how you get to union. If that's what you so desire, is union with your twin flame. Now, some of you, and I know this is triggering, but I have to say this, Some of you are going to be moving on to soulmates at this time. I did a post on Patreon last night, a written post about soulmates and the twin flame connection. Is it wrong? Is it okay? Does it delay union? Does it mess up your union? And I really feel that that's important. So you can check that out over on Patreon. And I also very much feel like the divine masculine is in an area of, or in an energy right now of just deep surrender and peace, but also their heart chakra has been blasted open. So the feminine's been transmuting for a lot of the masculines here. And so some of you are going to stay on the twin flame path. Some of you are going to veer off onto a soulmate journey. And still others of you are going to be just choosing yourself at this time. I want to make it clear, as I said on the post over on Patreon, there is no right or wrong on this journey. So if a reader says something and I say something else, or vice versa, or you think something else, but I say something else, or another twin flame says something else, or whatever the case, there is no right or wrong. We have our truths, and you're allowed to have your truth. You're allowed to change your mind on this journey. I mean, we're learning, we're growing. So please don't hold me to who I was a year and a half ago when I started the channel, because I've grown by leaps and bounds, and I hope I continue. I know that I'll continue to grow by leaps and bounds with every video I make, with every reading I do, with every piece of knowledge that I gain. And that's thanks to the twin flame journey. As challenging and painful as it can be, and as it has been at times, it's been enlightening. It's been absolutely astoundingly beautiful. And I've never been more sure or at ease with myself, as I know many of you are feeling. So there are no wrong choices right now. Do not condemn somebody because they're choosing a soulmate. Oh, that's wrong. I would never do that. Soulmates are just bad news. No, soulmates have been with you in other lifetimes, like your twin flame. Soulmates are here to continue to show us how to love, how to experience romantic love. And with a twin flame, you end up going beyond the romantic love. That aspect is there, but it's in a different form. A soulmate can bring in a lot of passion, a lot of, those more visceral experiences. And the twin flame journey is different because your twin is you. You're experiencing your own energy in another body. So I'm not saying there can't be passion or intimacy, but once you get past those initial stages, I do think that it's not that the embers of the flame die down, it's that they're more consistent, okay? In the beginning, they're kind of like this, and they're up, and they're up, and they're down, and they're up, and then you get over the runner chaser stage, and there's just this calmness. So it's really a personal choice, I think, that your soul will choose. Some of you will choose to have both in your life. There are no right or wrongs here. There really aren't. Some of you will choose to go with a soulmate, and then you will reunite with your twin flame down the road. 1 year, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case. There are no wrong turns on this journey. It's you taking a journey home to yourself. So let's see what the cards have to say today about the energies of these intricate, complex, and yet beautiful connections. So let's get the overarching energy here. Shadow. Right. So we are meeting our shadow, and this has been a theme. There are definitive themes that have been coming up over the past, 6 weeks or so, maybe longer, definitely longer. Definitive themes. One of those has been the death and rebirth card. So when you're meeting your shadow here, guys, you're meeting this version of yourself that maybe you have suppressed for a very long time. This is considered the moon card, in the traditional tarot. And I like that they depict it as the shadow here, because it really is about acknowledging those parts of ourselves that we feel are bad, like inherently bad, or not good, or in some way don't deserve to be seen or heard or acknowledged. So there's a real deep dive right now into all aspects of ourselves, so that we become, it's not that we need to become whole. We already all are whole, but we remind ourselves that we are already whole. So this is a very good reminder, and there is a lot of ego being slothed off right now, especially on the masculine side, the masculine energy. That's why a lot of the feminines are feeling physical pains on the left side of their body, because you're transmuting for your counterpart. So going through and moving through this energy, guys, you're going to feel very potentially yucky, just yucky, like slimy, yucky. It can be just very uncomfortable, especially for the ego. Because the ego knows that once you get more intimate with yourself, and once you accept yourself and you accept these parts of yourself, you're no longer going to be heeding the voice of the ego nearly as much, if at all. And you're going to be able to decipher what's real and what's not. And I don't mean what's real in terms of what the ego says this is real because I feel it. What's really real, okay? Not the things that your eyes can see, but what you can truly feel. So this is a lengthy process that I think the counterparts will be moving through even into next year. But it's revealing a lot of beautiful things. It's revealing so much. And I do think that the counterparts are growing so much at this time. So let's see, for the masculines, firm foundation. So let's talk about that. So the masculines want to create, this is the Four of Pentacles. They want to create something that is long lasting. That's what they're working on. This is different than the legacy that they had created, like let's just say in the first chapter of their life before they met the feminine, where it was money and power and prestige. This is about the masculines creating a foundation for themselves, ascending, climbing that mountain of ascension, and turning their back on the things that did not bring them joy and happiness, that did not make them feel whole, that in fact made them feel like they were unworthy or undeserving of love and happiness. This is a masculine who's physically fit, so a masculine who is working on his physicality, but really in a different way. It's not from an ego standpoint. Now it's from the standpoint of I need to be physically strong so that I can take on what I need to take on in this lifetime and accomplish my mission. It's more about them feeling good about themselves for themselves and not for anyone else at this time. Like they're not trying to impress women, or if it's a woman, they're not trying to impress men or impress women, impress men. Heterosexual, homosexual relationships, all are welcome in the twin flame journey. Again, there are no rules. And so the masculine energy, the dominant masculine energy, the body that holds that dominant masculine energy is definitely working within and on the root chakra at this time. Probably experiencing some physical upgrades there too, which could be quite uncomfortable. Lower back pain is what a lot of the feminines are feeling right now. That's your masculine energy within you and your the person you identify as your masculine counterpart. That's them experiencing these energies and yearning to just grow. It's just a growth. Like I just see a growth. Like a man who's kneeling on the ground and then slowly lifting himself back up stronger than ever before. Now for the feminines, Five of Wands, conflict and defeat. So there can definitely be an energy here, feminines. This is challenging, okay? I want to be very honest that this is a challenging energy. And it's interesting because this character is traveling downstairs, but you see these shadow figures on the wall that are traveling up. So it's almost like he's traveling in the wrong direction, but yet he's searching for that light. And I misspoke. This is the Five of Swords, I realized in looking at this, not the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands talks about conflict too, but usually it's conflict with others. So to me, it's kind of a similar energy here. Yeah, this is a person who is he's desperate to find that light again. So feminines, you're moving through somewhat of a dark night of the soul. A lot of feminines have expressed wanting to go home, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, inability to sleep. You've been severely affected by your masculine's ascension process. And one of the best things you can do, feminines, to move through that process with a little bit more ease is going to be to focus on something you love. Like I posted a picture today, again, of me, just my roller skates. I went out and roller skated a couple miles. And to me, that makes my inner child exuberantly happy. And it allows me to just listen to music or listen to nature, wave at people, see other people, see children, see families out there, go to my favorite park, be around nature and water and animals, and not have to worry for that, 45 minutes that I'm out there, hour that I'm out there. I don't have to worry or think. You're learning a lot, feminines, okay? There's a significant growth process, both for the masculine and the feminine energy right now. This is really gonna, like how you're handling yourself at this time is very significant, feminines. You're asked to have more sensitivity as well in an area of your life. And you're asked to surrender where you need to surrender, to stop kind of battling yourself or battling others and just surrender. And you're asked to be more gentle and to really release that negative energy that may be kind of surrounding you at this time. Okay, so let's get a card to clarify that conflict and defeat. The World card. This is one that keeps popping up over and over recently. So the World card for the feminines. So feminines, what I feel for you with this specifically is something has completed or is in the process of completing. A cycle, a season, a relationship, a job, and it's uncomfortable. Because right when something's finishing, it's exciting, but it's also terrifying because we don't know what's next. So for a lot of feminines, you're feeling the shifts and changes in your environment, in your home environments, maybe in your abundance levels, okay, have increased or decreased at this time. And even if they're increased, you'd think that, right, that would be such a wonderful thing, but sometimes we don't know how to hold space for that abundance, and so we sort of push it away unconsciously. So that's happening, I feel, for some of you. And then just for others of you, just the knowledge and the knowing that you're moving on from an aspect of your connection or your journey. But again, this doesn't mean that the twin flame journey has ended. It never ends. It's never ending. It's eternal. This doesn't mean that you're choosing a soulmate. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you should. There's no judgment here. But there's an aspect that you have had to release over the past several months, especially through eclipse season. You've had to release perhaps a very high-paying job, and you don't know what's next. Okay, and that's scary, feminines. But that's your masculine being activated right now. The masculine now has to activate and bring in the action steps, okay? So I wanted to clarify, since I clarified for the feminines, clarifying for the masculines. The Four of Pentacles. Now we have the High Priestess. So once again, the masculines working within the realm of spirits, okay? Working with their higher selves, working with their guides. This is a theme, again, that's coming up. Lots of themes right now, guys, for a reason. It's not that the readings are repetitive. It's that there's themes that we are being shown. Now, how you work with those is up to you. But they're listening to their intuition at this time. So if they've taken a step back, guys, there's a reason for that. It's not to punish you. It's not to hurt you. It's not to bring pain upon you, okay, or confusion. They're doing this because they're listening to their highest guidance. They're a lot more in tune and a lot more aware and a lot more awake than you may realize. Give them some credit where credit is due. Give your own masculine side credit. The masculine counterpart in the physical can only reflect back to you how you feel about your masculine energy. So if your masculine energy is sort of weak or not taking action or like humdrum or indecisive or likes to procrastinate, guess how that's going to show up with your physical counterpart? How's that going to show up? Not being able to commit, not being able to give you firm, straight answers, no clarity, right? Lack of clarity, lack of precision, not coming forward, sort of, feeling like you're at a standstill. Where are you at a standstill in your own life, feminine? The masculines are learning to have more compassion for others. I feel like they felt the pain that they brought on the feminine. And this is their own feminine energy. They're really having a relationship right now with their own feminine energy. And they felt the pain that they've brought onto you and onto other females or feminine energies in their lives. And they're sort of taking a step back going, whoa, this is how I've contributed to the pain of others. This is how I've contributed to the suffering of women. They don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to be that person. Their ego in the past told them that money and fame and, power and women or men, like that was what defined them. And now they're realizing their life that's defined by those things is empty. They're just having epiphany after epiphany. What about for the feminine? Feminine, it's interesting because normally you think that these would be reversed. The feminine has liberation, free yourself. Yeah, this to me is speaking of a death process. You're being liberated from something, very much in line with the World card. You're being freed from something or of something. And feminine, don't worry about what is being perceived to be lost or what you have to release or let go of, because it's going to be replaced by something better and something more in alignment. Feminine, I think you're being asked how delicately you can handle this situation and how easily you can let go. This is definitively about releasing codependency also. That's like the codependent energy is the energy of who you used to be and where the feminine energy used to be, but it's not where we are now. Where this now, carcass was once a swan, a beautiful swan. Now it's like it's snuffing out the life force of this woman. So it's time to unwind from the things that you have been codependent on, that you have felt, like for the masculine energy felt that money and power and women or men, that those sorts of things brought them fame, like things, collecting things. They were collectors of things instead of experiences. It was all about their image. And for the feminine energy, it was all about you being a caretaker and taking care of others at the expense of your own self, your own happiness, your health, your joy, and your abundance, because love is intricately linked with abundance. So feminine and masculine went through these, tower moments and ego deaths, realizing that the masculine was codependent in different ways, and they were codependent on the karmic relationships because of what they represented to the world. They represented, a marriage to the masculine energy represented conquering, like they conquered something, and they were a failure if they left. They were a failure to their children. They were a failure to their family, to society, to their neighborhood, to their friends, to the ex-partner. And masculines are finally stepping out of that, really living for themselves. It's important that you remember or honor feminine, who is like breathing life force into you and who may be stripping you of it also. I may save this. I'm feeling this for another reading. There's something I just want to read here. It says, I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. Guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. I really like that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And thank you for being here today and for listening and for being on this journey, for the strength and courage that takes when you signed up for it and to continue to show up every single day. I know that that takes a lot. And I see you and I hear you and I honor and respect that. I was thinking about maybe turning the comments back on, but what I would need to assist would be, and I know this is a lofty request, but maybe like 5 people or more who would be willing to monitor the comments below each video. And I know that's a lot, but if there were a couple of you guys who would volunteer, no expectations, but whenever you can, that would really greatly help us with the channel, help to answer questions, help to support, and also help to clear and delete out those people that are bringing in negativity and don't even believe in the twin flame journey and don't even know why they're on the channel. There's a lot of those energy vampires afoot right now, which is why so many readers have closed off the comments. So that's kind of what I was thinking was I'd love to open it up so you guys could communicate and could give feedback, but I'm unable to monitor the comments section. I just don't have the time. So if you're interested, let me know and I can make you a moderator. You just have to have a YouTube channel, which I think you would if you're watching the channel. I think you have to. I think that's how that works anyway. So let me know. Let's look into these energies. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. Let's talk about that for a minute. Feminine, the feminine energy is a natural nature lover, animal lover, respecter of all things on this earth, right? And I feel that at times, I know that at times that the feminine energy in all of us has been pushed down. Intuition has not been respected or regarded as highly as, let's say, education, okay, book knowledge. But what is more important, let's say when you're faced with a predator, you're faced with somebody chasing you, wanting to rob you or steal your money, your purse, your wallet. What is more important, book knowledge and book smarts or street smarts and intuition? It's your intuition. When you're making a commitment, right? Who to spend your life with. Is it more important that you have a PhD or is it more important that you are connected to your inner knowing? It's just, when we think about diet and what we should be putting into our bodies, I think that would be probably more of a balance, right? Just thought about that. It would be, yes, you have the knowledge, the science, but also you know what your body needs. So what works for someone else, there's not like a cure-all for everyone. Our bodies are different. Our genetics are different. Our genetics are playing out differently, right? Our wounds or traumas are contributing, both physical wounds and traumas as well as emotional and spiritual. So you're asked right now, feminine, to really truly step up and honor this part of you that's really been pushed down for so long by society. That, it's almost to the point where the feminine energy, especially represented by a masculine body, a more masculine person, was just suppressed entirely. And you know how animals, their instincts, it's so beautiful. They live so much presently. They're present for each moment. They forgive, they forget. A lot more ease than humans do, and they're just so present. They're free to be without the weight of the past or without the worry of the future. So connect to the energy of animals and connect to your own instinctual animal energy that lies within you, that's helping you understand and attract and magnetize to you everything that you want. I know it feels like you're at a standstill, feminine. I know it feels dark, and you may feel very alone right now, and you may feel like it just sort of like the weight of the world is what I'm feeling for the feminine. So I just want to honor that energy. I want to honor that for you, feminine. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And this journey was never designed to be easy, right? There are challenges and obstacles and trials and tribulations of the soul and of the heart and of the mind. So while the feminine's working on trusting her instincts, getting back to her Empress energy, the masculine is once again, we see connecting to his intuition here over with the High Priestess, and also connecting to his ancestors, moving beyond ancestral patterns. So important, masculines. This is significant work that you're doing right now, masculine. So if you're watching, you are powerful beyond measure, and these ancestral patterns that you're moving beyond, this is what's going to free you. This is exactly where you need to be at this time. This is about moving beyond limitations that have been set for you by your parents, by your grandparents, by your great-great-great-great-grandparents. And your spirit, your soul, is a lot more powerful than you've ever given yourself credit for, masculines. In fact, your spirit, your soul is more powerful than these patterns. And this is what masculines are learning right now, tapping into this very ancient primal energy of the ancestors. Yeah. Who are you if you were to live and look beyond these patterns? Who are you, right? Who are you? Who would you be? What would you be able to give up and release? Know that that's not your truth. This is very much, when Elder steps into your reading, masculines, I mean, look, he's got lines on his face. He's got wrinkles. His skin is worn and tethered and leathered. He's lived. You have lived lifetimes. You're an ancient soul. You're an embodied soul. But you're here at this time to reclaim your power. This elder card represents change, shifting, healing, growth on an astronomical level. So whatever limitations have been placed upon you, masculine, you have the capacity and the power and the willpower at this time to move beyond them. This is why feminines, the masculine energy, is quiet right now. They are so focused on the healing work that they're doing for themselves, which is translating to healing work for the planet. They are in mission. They are in mission. A lot of them have gone to therapy and counseling at this time. They've sought the help or assistance of shamans, right? The guidance, the clarity of shamans. And they know that their feminine is a shaman. They know that you are a healer and a medicine woman in your own right, but they need to go elsewhere for this. So let's get a card now for where this is taking the counterparts. Where is this taking the counterparts? Druid, hold the space. So we have another elder. We have another elder here. So there's ancient energy that is being tapped into right now for both of you. Ancient energy that's connected to the stars, it's connected to the galaxies, the universe. I see the serpent energy here. So the energy of the kundalini that is rising within. It's rising within our vessels, and it's rising on the planet. And we have to know that we're where we're supposed to be right now, guys. That's so important right now. Yeah. If you have any knowledge of the Druids, especially those of my followers who are British or who have, British ancestry, which a lot of Americans actually do, you know that the Druids were ancient peoples, and they were deeply connected to the mystical. They were connected to the earth, the moon, the stars, the sky, the sun, very deeply connected to astrology. And there's an energy here of needing to not move, but needing to just stay still. Okay, and this is why it may feel like things are at a standstill in our lives. Not just in our connections, but with work, with being able to make decisions at this time. You sort of just feel like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It just feels stale, like there's like a stalemate. This is why. This is all the work that's being done behind the scenes. Do you know that the Druids had their own language? So they had the Ogham tree language, and these beings, or these peoples rather, they were such incredible storytellers. Okay? And storytelling has been around since the inception of time. Whenever I think of campfires, I think of storytelling. Our elders, our ancestors telling stories. That's how, they didn't have books at the time. They had words, word of mouth, and they shared their shared experiences with one another so that it would be passed on from generation to generation. So hold steady, guys. That is really the message here. Hold steady. Don't do anything drastic. Don't make any sudden changes at this time. Know that you are being guided with a force far more powerful than you. Not that you aren't powerful, you are, but when we have collective power, right, or collective energy, we're much, much more powerful than just thinking that we're separate from the whole. We're not. And I think we're weaving this web here, and we are realizing just how connected we are, deeply, deeply connected. I'm going to stop the reading there. I send you all lots of love, lots of abundant blessings here post full moon in Capricorn, right? And please, please watch that reading yesterday, because, it may seem kind of humdrum or boring, the Capricorn, and no offense to Capricorns, but I'm a Scorpio. I want like fire and passion, and it was all about focus and organization, and that is actually my North Node. That's my Virgo energy. So I sometimes kind of like dread it because it's exactly where I need to be and what I need to be focusing on, but I just want to have adventures and storytell. So no offense. That's just me being a Scorpio brat. But it may seem kind of like humdrum, but it's so important. We're laying the foundation, and I talk about that. So I love you guys, sending you lots of love. Take great care. I'll talk to you soon.